You should be very, very ashamed of yourself. Did you buy the house for me that you want to help me renovate? Did I ask for your help? If I can acquire such a house, I don't see why you will want to be the one to help me renovate it. How many years did I stay with you? As a wife, what property did you buy from me? Get out of my property. Send your people, call them now and tell them to get out of my property. They say Dazzling slammed Epalolo so badly. Hi, De La Right. You all know what's cooking in our studio with your girl, De La Rama. Now, there is this social media boost that, of course, Epalolo had sent some engineers to Dazzling's house to begin to put out plans together on how to renovate that house. Now, if you have been following the trend of events, I think a month ago or thereabout, or maybe 6 weeks ago, if I am not mistaken, there was this report that made the rounds on social media that Dazzling bought a new house. Now, on my part, I will not be able to tell you or to substantiate whether the house was bought or rented. But a lot of people who think they know her very well, they said she bought the house for 450 million naira. And others are saying that she rented the house for, 150 million naira. That is what they are saying, okay? Some people are saying she rented the house for 75 million naira per annum for 2 years, 150 million. But others are also arguing strongly that she bought the house for 450 million naira. Now, the owners of the house, the estate agent, they have stayed mute because they don't want to spoil their business, okay? And so we don't know, okay? But people who are very, very close to Dazzling, they said she bought the house and she paid in full. Not like she paid half, she paid in full. Now, we heard, if the information is correct as it is making the rounds on social media, you know that Dazzling just backed another major endorsement in the UK. I made that video for you, right? I told you about that. Now, that endorsement in the UK, yes, she backed an endorsement in the UK. Now, for several millions of, or several thousands of pounds that is accumulating to millions in naira, right? And then she is still very, very active in her rehabilitation, sections, right? So right now they said Epalolo, seeing that Dazzling has backed in less than 2 months, as we are hearing reliably. This is talking about the endorsement that Dazzling is back in, okay? Not about all the speculated information that is, surrounding Epalolo, right? Now, they said Dazzling has backed 2 major endorsements in this last 2 months. One is the movie that they are about to produce, and another one, this endorsement that she backed in the UK right now. I have seen videos on social media where they said she backed another endorsement in a food company, but I don't know. I've not gotten that information yet, and that is why I'm not going to bring it here. So they say when Epalolo heard that, Dazzling has started a rehabilitation, section or sections in the UK, and it's going to cost her 30,000 pounds. They said Epalolo made an attempt to pay, only to find out that the rehabilitation has been fully funded by somebody that is called Navarro West, an American young movie producer, right? And they say it cost her $30,000. She's not locked up in there. You know that her crisis with Roke is not the way they made it seem. As far as we are concerned, they say basically it's just alcohol. That is what we are hearing, if the information is correct, that the major issue was even the rehabilitation they are talking about now, that the focus is on alcohol and all of that, not even that rogue that they are talking about. So because she doesn't have that kind of major problem is the reason why she's not checked in there and locked in there, right? And so when Epalolo heard this, they say Epalolo was very, very unhappy. And Epalolo made several attempts and, got really upset, spoke to the family as to why Dazzling will not respect herself, why Dazzling will allow an independent person to fund her rehabilitation, that they never had any problems with money and all of that. And, Epalolo, the family said that Epalolo should get lost, that this is Dazzling's life. At the end of the day, Dazzling makes the final decision, and you cannot force her to be with you, especially if she does not want to be with you, right? And so, with all of this, Epalolo saw that, support wasn't coming from anywhere, and support was not coming from anywhere and all of that. Epalolo was very angry, and they said a lot actually happened, right? But one thing again that we started hearing is that Epalolo got up and decided to send his engineers to go to the house that Dazzling bought, that to go and draw plans and all of that on what some kind of rehabilitation. Renovation. Now, while Dazzling and himself were, when they were still together, Dazzling had plans to build her mansion in Abuja in a land that they said Dazzling bought. Whether he's the one who bought for Dazzling or is Dazzling that bought the land for herself, there was a time we heard that it was the land that even started the problem. We don't know. Then Dazzling had drawn a plan on what she would like her sitting room to look like and the kitchen to look like, okay? And Dazzling is so fascinated about this very kind of sitting room and the kitchen, okay? And so now, according to what they said, he wanted to surprise Dazzling, to renovate this sitting room and the kitchen to that standard, and the bedroom, the stairways, the staircase and all of that. So that when Dazzling comes back to Nigeria, Dazzling will come and see everything she had always wanted in that house. Now, he thought that Dazzling is that girl of those days that will be running, it's money, this, that. But when Dazzling heard that, engineers were there, and see what the engineers say that they are coming from Epalolo, Dazzling just could not hold the anger. What is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Did you even buy the house for me that you want to go and renovate it? What is your problem, Epalolo? They said that was when Dazzling slammed Epalolo so much. And the man was very, very, shocked over the things that Dazzling vomited when, and in fact, Dazzling asked that the engineers should be sent out immediately, that if Epalolo does not send them out and ask them to leave immediately, she was going to embarrass them. This is what we are hearing. If the information is correct, I'm going to bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored. These are unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.